Hey there, Cameron here. This is a little bit different because I've never actually made a video for my website, at least not one where I'm talking into the camera. And I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update about where I'm at in life and stuff like that. And first off, I want to thank everyone who's been reading all of my articles on depression and anxiety and everything. You guys are fantastic, and I'm so glad that I could be helpful. I mean, all the messages that you guys have sent me just letting me know how much, it means that I've been writing have been fantastic. And it's like, I just feel so honored because, like, out of the blue, I'll just get like a block of text, from someone just kind of explaining their life story. And I love that because I love that people, feel from my writing that they can be comfortable sharing with me, and I respect that so much. So to everyone who has shared what's going on in their lives, thank you so much. I think that you guys have helped me too in the midst of everything that has been going on with me, and I appreciate just the honesty and openness. I think there's no greater catharsis, and there's no greater humanity than being with another person and being understood. Being understood is just so incredibly cathartic and so helpful. So, yeah, I wanted to give you guys some honesty about where I'm at in my life, and kind of what's coming up next for my website and my blogging and all that. So, I've settled a little bit into a comfortable pattern with blogging. When I first started, I was kind of scared of doing it. And I blogged for a little while, kind of about like just generic motivational self-help type of stuff, and it was very pithy and not very. It didn't really go into my heart and my soul and why I really care about this type of stuff, and so as a consequence, I didn't get a whole lot of reaction, because people didn't have anything to relate to with that, and so. The first time I finally shared about my struggle with depression, I just remember, pressing that blue like WordPress publish button after I'd written something that was like really vulnerable and close to my heart was just this terrifying experience for me. And so I went ahead and I pressed the button and I just like panicked. It was like and then like I remember after that just going and doing stuff to kind of distract myself so I wouldn't have to think about the fact that people might be reading stuff that was really near and dear to my heart, and they could be judging me and all that. So I kind of just walked off and did my own thing for a little while and tried to forget about the fact that I'd published it. And then I got all this positive response from you guys, and that was just such an overwhelming blessing. So over the last couple months, I've settled into a little bit too comfortable a routine with the blogging. So I've gotten kind of used to the format. I can sit down, I can, um, kind of come up with a pithy idea, kind of connect it to the topic of depression and anxiety, kind of throw in a little vulnerability story, and then I hit the publish button, and then I just kind of wait for people's positive responses. And it's just this little pattern. And over the last month, I haven't even blogged a ton at all. Which I honestly apologize for because I feel like it was a really big part of my heart and soul, and a big part of the impact that I was making positively on kind of the little circle that I live in. And so I'm sorry that I kind of slipped off the tracks for a little bit there, because I honestly think that blogging and talking about these topics is one of the most important things for my life. And for the lives of some of the people around me, it's been very helpful, it seems. So basically, getting into that comfortable pattern, I've been thinking more and more about making videos and kind of putting myself out there a little bit. And I have made excuse after excuse after excuse. And I don't know if you've done something like that where it's like you kind of know. I'll call it the next real thing. I don't know if you've ever heard the concept of doing like the next right thing. If you don't know all the right things to do, just do the next right thing and see if you maybe from there can do the next right thing and the next right thing. And that concept has just saved me because I just get so paranoid about getting to that last final absolutely right place. And when you don't have to get there, it's freeing. And but I came up with kind of the idea of doing the next real thing. So the next thing that feels real and soulful and deep and a little bit scary, and the next thing that kind of connects you to people in a deeper, more meaningful way. When you figure out what that next thing is, just take the leap. And like, I'd love to tell people that, but I haven't been taking that leap myself because I felt like, when I first pressed the publish button on my blogs about depression and anxiety, I was like, I had that little panic moment, and I'm like, and pushing the publish button was terrifying. And now, I've settled into a little bit of a routine, and I know that people can accept it. And so to go to the video format, that's what I've kind of known that I want to do, because I think it can impact people in a more positive way, and it can like show me, in my vulnerability in a deep way. And I've just been scared of that because it's like, I don't want you guys to know, where I'm really at, because I want to feel like this expert, on depression and anxiety and mental health and all that. I really want to be seen as an expert. But then I realized, like, part of overcoming depression and anxiety is actually, being able to be in that vulnerable place and being able to be okay with where you're at. And where I'm at right now, I'm not perfectly happy with myself. I'm not perfectly happy with my life. I'm not, a full-time speaker and author like I'd kind of like to be. I'm a little further along. I mean, I've started, my own business now, and I've, been blogging for a little while now and stuff, but I'm not where I ultimately want to be. At the same time, I think that every time we say to ourselves, like, okay, well, I'm not at this place, so I can't take that next real step, we cheat ourselves out of experiencing a beautiful future, because we're never going to be ready for the next step. We're never going to be fully ready for that next real thing. If we were fully ready, we'd already be there. And I guess you just have to take that step. So this is me taking that first step and just saying, hey, I've had it on my heart to do video for some time, and to be even more open and vulnerable than I've been. And I'm here and I'm doing it, and I'm feeling that same exact panic as I'm recording this. It feels fairly natural because I'm just talking like like you guys are my friends, because you are, and even people who read my blog who I don't know personally, I feel like we have the same, we have really similar struggles and really similar thought processes, and I love you guys. You mean something to me, and that's why I blogged. And so this is just me doing the next real thing. I want to do more video. I do want to ask you guys, for those who are struggling with depression and anxiety, how can I help? What do you need? What kind of resources can be provided for you that would be helpful? Do you need like support groups? Do you need people around you? Do you need someone to talk to at 2 a.m.? What do you need that would be helpful for you to overcome depression and anxiety? And what would help you take that next step? So anyway, this is a super long video, but I wanted to just take some time to share pretty deeply from my heart. And I wanted to kind of put myself out there a little bit. I don't think I'm quite as vulnerable right now as I'd like to be in some future videos. I want to talk about some real stuff that has been going on for me. But this is definitely the next real thing for me. This is the next step in kind of my growth as a human being. And I challenge you, if you're feeling something that's like, oh, that's my next real thing, go for it. Just go for it, and feel free to leave a comment on one, what's your next real thing? What do you need to do? What's going to make your life more enriched? And two, um, just let me know how I can help with depression and anxiety. What do you need, and how can we connect you to some resources that can be helpful? So anyway, thanks so much for all the love and support, and I hope that I can be helpful. I'm, just a pretty normal guy, just like all of you guys, and I love that we're able to connect. So thank you.